Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to week 3. I have your overview and to-do list. I don't think you'll have many problems with this because you have a ton of access to resources for this assignment. And with economics, it's not like accounting where there's a lot of numbers and you're crunching and you're trying to find this one number at the end. Um, but there are these are things that haven't changed for a long time either. It's kind of like history, but in business. So we're going to go over your overview, and I think you'll be fine with the discussion topics. A lot of it's kind of in your opinion anyways. So for the first part of the course materials, you're going to talk about in chapter 7, consumers, producers, and efficiency of markets. You will go through the chapter, and I would recommend printing off the presentation. If you are unfamiliar with PowerPoint, I would open this up, and obviously you can view it and make your own notes. And this is a ready to present presentation with even notes in it. This has instructor notes for you. So this is really good information here. But if you would like to print this off, you can do this 2 different ways. I would go to File and Print. And if you have this, you can open it in Google Slides as well, which is free. Some of the transitions and things may not, or like the text may change a little bit, but you should be able to still use this. So when you go to print, obviously you want to print all slides, but instead of full page slides, you can do your notes slides. And this will give you the presenter's notes that are already on there. Another way, and then you can write your notes around here. You can draw your own diagrams, whatever it may be. You can also print it in outline view. You can also print it. This is what I used to do when I was taking college classes. I would always print my presentations out so I could take notes on the right-hand side. But since these presentations have such great notes already established with them, I would print these notes pages off front and back, and then just handwrite your own notes out here to the side or on the back sheet of your page. So these are really great tools, you guys, a lot of different diagrams and infographics as well. There are flashcards for your terms. These are in Quizlet. There are so many Quizlets out there for you to use. So if this is not showing you what you want to see, just do a quick little search. There's a website. Let's make sure this works. Yep, this one works. We got videos included as well. I also put this in your, you'll be able to see this after you reply to the discussion for this week because I found the same information and shared it with you. Let's see, going on, that's your materials this week and your textbook. Your textbook is great too, so don't forget about that textbook. All right, for your prompt for discussion 3.1, you're going to identify a common product you use or consume, anything around your room, anything in your office, and then discuss, after you have read the chapter, what your willingness to pay for that product would be. What is the maximum price you would be willing to pay? And what would be your consumer surplus for that good? Now, I also want you to keep in mind when we were working during the pandemic at the very beginning and toilet paper was scarce, would you have paid more for that toilet paper than you would now? And how much of a surplus would you keep at home now based on going through a pandemic situation like that? A little tidbit there. Once you get done with your reply, you'll be able to see your peers. And I have also put these things in here for you to work on. Like I said, one of my resources that I gave you is actually out there for you to read through before you reply. So go out there and read, do some reading. Also, with your discussion boards, one of the biggest things for me is that this is your way of participating in class. These are participation points. So if you are sending me your discussion and submitting it on Sunday and then responding twice on Sunday or not at all, that's really going to ding your grade. And these are easy points, guys. Get logged in, get your work done by Thursday. Because on the other side of that, it's not fair to your colleagues not to have somebody to talk to, because then they're working. Maybe they don't want to work on the weekend. They want to have all of their materials in before Friday afternoon. So get in here, get to doing these discussions, please. It's I'm begging you. Okay, going on to the next topic 3.2. Then the second half is about public goods and common resources. Again, your book chapters, there's some videos here, your presentation, print that off. No fireworks on the 4th of July. I have responded about the no fireworks on 4th of July in our discussion topic as well. And it kind of makes sense. It's like everybody goes and watches the fireworks display. How could you charge somebody to watch those fireworks? They're up in the sky. That's public to everybody. So look at that information in the discussion board. Again, there are some study materials on here as well that not all of your assignments will have. Take it from me. These are very good terms to know for your assessment. No, I can't get back. Okay. So your discussion on this is going to be about why does the free rider problem induce the government to provide public goods? Fireworks for people in a community. And I know a lot of times donations are brought up for those, as I get that. But what about public parks? Okay, nobody can really own those public parks. So they need to come up with a way for that problem to be resolved. And I have commented on those for you to read through as well. Okay, so on your apply assignments, an absence of property rights often leads to market failure. When this is the case, how does society usually solve the problem? Give an example of such a market failure in your answer. So I am going to kind of give you my example. And this is a known widely cited article. It's called The Problem of Social Cost. He was it's from an economist named Arthur Pigou, I think is how you say his last name, Pigou. And he gives us the example of a cattle rancher. And this cattle rancher's cattle keep getting out and destroying the neighbor's farm crops. So the government should technically stop the rancher from letting his cattle roam free, or should at least tax him for doing so. Otherwise, economists believe that the cattle would continue to destroy the crops because the rancher would have no incentive to stop them. Think about that. However, we can challenge this view and point out that the rancher had no legal liability for destroying the farmer's crops. It was the cattle, it wasn't the farmer. And if the transaction costs were zero, the farmer could come to a mutually beneficial agreement with that rancher, under which the farmer paid to the rancher to cut back on his cattle herd. This would happen if the damage would cost more than getting rid of the cattle. Let me give you an example. So the rancher could have a steer that would pay him $2, okay? And he could give up that $2 if it costs $3 of harm to the crops, okay? So it wasn't worth having that steer because he's gonna have to pay $1 more because of the crop damage. So if the rancher was willing to give up $3 for the cattleman to give up the steer, there would be a mutually beneficial bargain. Both would be happy. The crops wouldn't get destroyed. You'd be taking income out of those crops. And the rancher would not have to feed out that extra steer that's causing the trouble. Okay, so he's made $1 more for not having to go through the work. So that would be a mutually beneficial bargain when we're talking about property rights or the absence of. Okay, again, I love Crash Course. I'm going to talk about this again. If you go out to Crash Course on YouTube and subscribe to this, I'm already subscribed. And you can go to the playlists, and here it will have different sections. I highly recommend going to the business section. We now have business soft skills, entrepreneurship. Oh, looky there, economics. So then over here on the right-hand side, tons of videos. I mean, like 30 some videos of economics. And this couple put things into layman terms so easily. It is nice. I use this all the time with my high school kids, and they are taking college classes, dual credit. And this really helps solidify or put it into their terms of how they can utilize these terminology things. There's a lot of terminology in economics. So that would be something I would look at. So this week for your secret code, it's going to be the problem of social cost. Problem of social cost. I hope you are enjoying your day, and I will talk to you later.